guys, today I'm going to be talking about willpower. Well, first and foremost, what is willpower? Willpower is the ability to resist short-term gratification in the pursuit of long-term goals or objectives. There you go. I want to talk about a study I read. Some chaps over in the USA, they got 67 students into a room and they put a bowl of radishes on one table and a plate of freshly baked cookies, chocolate chip cookies to be exact, on the other table. And these cookies, they, as I say, freshly baked, very doughy, lots of little chocolate chips in, filled the room with the smell of chocolate chip cookie. And they split them in half and they asked one lot of students to only eat the radishes. And then they asked the other set of students to only eat the cookies. And they said they were doing this study to discover new information about taste buds and taste receptors and all these sorts of things. So that's why they thought they were doing it. What they did then is they left the room for 15 minutes and they observed these people through two-way glass. And the people that were told to eat the radishes, they were coming over to the cookies and smelling them and picking them up and licking their fingers afterwards and probably dreaming about eating cookies when they had radishes to eat. So they watched this behavior play out and then 15 minutes later, they came back in and they thanked everybody for doing it and they said it's going to take a little while for them to get their information together. But whilst they were doing it, they said, here's a small little puzzle to do, just to kill some time. And this puzzle was one of them puzzles where you draw a shape and you're not allowed to go over the line twice and things like that. And then they said it'll be about 10 minutes and we'll put back in and you can all leave. So they observed all these people doing these little puzzles. And the people that had the cookies were treating it much like a bit of fun, a bit of a game, keep doing it, oh, done it, didn't manage to do it, try again, do it, that sort of thing. But the people that had the radishes, man, they were losing it. They were swearing, they were throwing pens, they were kicking off, some of them walked out, they were not happy. And what this study was aimed at was basically they gave the radishes and the cookies as a way to really, really deplete people's willpower. And then when they gave them the puzzle, the people that had the cookies, fairly satisfied, let's just say, they had much more willpower, they had much more patience, they were able to even though the puzzle was effectively impossible, they were able to keep trying and stay positive about it. The people that had the radishes, they were done. they were not interested in this puzzle anymore. And the conclusion is that willpower is limited within people. And it's to be treated much like a muscle, a mental muscle, if you will. And just like any muscle, it can get tired. So, if we're training our biceps, and after some point, the biceps will get tired and you'll have to stop. And it's a bit like willpower. Once you've used up lots of willpower and different things through your day, by the time you get to the end of the day, you're spent. You've got no willpower left. You wake up in the morning with so much willpower, and during the day, different things challenge it and eventually deplete it. The same study said that this is why some people cheat on their partners late at night. I don't know about that. That's a bit of a stretch. I think maybe this person that had done this study was potentially trying to justify some behavior that he might have done. But let's not speculate. The point is, willpower is a mental muscle. And that there's only so much willpower. And like any muscle, it can be trained. Willpower is ultimately about choices. It comes down to choosing to do something or not to do something. If you're a smoker, it's about choosing to smoke or not to smoke. If you want to take up an exercise regime, it's about choosing to do it or choosing not to do it. Same with alcohol, drink the alcohol, don't drink the alcohol, and so on and so on, food, whatever. So whatever it is that you're choosing to focus your willpower on, or your discipline towards, it comes down to choices. We're on lockdown at the moment, so I think it's important that we choose realistic limitations. If you think about it, on lockdown, we're having to homeschool our children, having to try and get work done from home, and there's far more concerns now that weren't there before. Concerns about health, concerns about our finances, concerns about just staying sane. Now, perhaps now wouldn't be an ideal time to apply further restrictions and limitations to our lives. So choosing now to give up alcohol, or I'm not gonna have chocolate anymore, or to give up whatever it is, this or that, whatever it is that you may or may not be trying to give up, maybe now's not the time to think about doing that. What's also important is your why. What is your why? Why do you want to do or not do whatever it is you don't want to do or do want to do? Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that you should or you shouldn't do it, but you need to know why. You really do. Because when it comes to the crunch time, that very moment when you're going to make that decision, I'm either going to do this or I'm not going to do this, it's all about control. And we fight this internal battle with our cravings and our habits, and it causes sometimes a very painful conflict within us. And that really is the crux of it. That battle that you have for yourself, that's what needs to stop. Oh, I really want to, but I shouldn't. I said I wasn't going to do this. I got this plan. I had this, I don't know what to do. All that conflict, that point right there, that's what needs to stop. See, your environment is very important too. There are things, there are triggers, there are people, places, environments that are set up, not on purpose, but nonetheless set up for you to either succeed at your goals or fail at your goals. Like a well put together office can make you work optimally, just like a not so well put together office can mean that you can't find anything and you're getting stressed and it just causes all sorts of problems. And that's the same with your normal environment. There'll be triggers and things all around your house that set you up to succeed, and there'll be things and triggers around your house that set you up to fail. So it's very important that you walk around your house and you listen to your body and you listen to yourself and you try and work out, what is triggering me to do this? Oh my gosh, I just got this feeling when I walked into this room. Why is that? Having that mindfulness about your day and having your mindfulness as you walk around your house and figure out what is it that's trying to make, that triggers me to smoke? What is it that triggers me to go for that glass of wine? What is it that triggers me to have another biscuit? Whatever it is, they're there. Your environment and the place you live, the place you work, the people that surround you, they're all very important to whether or not you're going to achieve your goals or not. So pay attention to those things because they're trying to teach you something. In their moments, listen, don't ignore, don't judge, just listen because they're trying to teach you something. There's a Buddhist monk named Dan Depandi, and he believes that willpower is a mental muscle and that you should look throughout your day for opportunity to train your willpower. He has this great story about you should finish what you begin. So he says that every day he goes to sleep, just like much of us do, and most of us do. But he said before he goes to bed, he brushes his teeth, puts on his pajamas, and then he gets into bed. But then when he wakes up in the morning, he makes his bed. And he calls that the finishing part of sleeping. So no one wants to make their bed. It's a boring, mundane task. But it's these boring, mundane tasks throughout the day that will help us and will help us train willpower. Because if you can get up and you can make your bed, even if you don't want to make your bed, then you're training your willpower. Your willpower is being used towards doing something that you don't really want to do, but you're doing it anyway. So why can't it be used later as it gets stronger to not do the things that you don't want to do? He says that the mundane jobs are boring, but they do present an opportunity to train your willpower. See, everything gets easier with practice. In conclusion, willpower is limited, so think carefully about what you apply your willpower to throughout the day. Give it some careful thought of how, like any training program, you're going to deliberately strengthen that mental muscle. You're also going to remove the triggers, the things that are around you that trigger you to do the behaviors you do or don't want to do. Take the chance to practice willpower on their mundane tasks. But remember, everything gets easier with practice. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe.